Beginning, the distress signal. The last thing Captain Adrian Holt expected while piloting his interstellar freighter through the outskirts of the Tryon expanse was a faint, irregular distress signal. He leaned over the console, adjusting the frequency. The signal was unlike anything he had ever encountered. High-pitched, layered with multiple modulations, and emotionally charged. "Looks like someone's in trouble," he muttered, squinting at the readings. The signal intensified, forming what sounded like coherent words when translated through the ship's universal translator. "Please. Human. Help. My mom's caught in a trap." Adrian's heart skipped a beat. He had flown through countless sectors, delivering supplies to colonies, but never had he been addressed directly by someone calling him human in such desperate tones. "Show me the source," he said. The ship's sensors locked onto a small, remote planet near a dense asteroid belt. The distress beacon originated from a shallow valley surrounded by jagged rock formations. Landing the freighter near the coordinates, Adrian activated his exosuit and prepared to descend. His mission: simple reconnaissance. But the urgency in the child's voice suggested far more than a stranded spacecraft. The first encounter. The valley was eerily quiet, except for the faint sound of someone crying. As he moved closer, a small figure emerged from behind a rock. It was an alien child, barely 3 feet tall, with translucent teal skin, luminous violet eyes, and delicate fins along her arms and back. She ran toward him, tripping over the jagged terrain. "Please," she cried, clutching his legs. "My mom, she's in a trap. You have to help." Adrian knelt slowly, extending his hand. "Okay, calm down. I'm here to help." "What happened?" The child's voice trembled. "The Dominion, they set a snare." She was capturing samples for her research. But the Dominion soldiers, they caught her. "Dominion soldiers?" Adrian asked, his mind racing. The Kethari Dominion had been known across several sectors for their militarized control and ruthless enforcement of interstellar law. He had heard rumors but never encountered them firsthand. The child grabbed his hand. "Please. I can't do it alone. They'll hurt her." Adrian glanced at the jagged valley, assessing the dangers. "All right, we'll get your mom. But we have to move carefully. Tell me everything you know." Plan. The child introduced herself as Lyra and described her mother, Talus, a biologist studying the flora of their planet. "She's clever, but she can't escape Dominion snares," Lyra explained. Adrian crouched beside her, studying the layout from his ship's sensors. "Okay, Lyra. Here's what we'll do. We'll sneak past the patrols, locate the trap, and free your mom. Then we get out before anyone notices." Lyra's small hands trembled with hope. "Do you think you can do it?" Adrian smiled reassuringly. "We'll do it together. Courage isn't about being fearless. It's about acting despite fear." Over the next hour, they scouted the perimeter. The Dominion patrols were precise, moving in pairs and using advanced sensors to scan for heat signatures. Adrian realized a direct assault would be suicide. They needed a distraction. "I have an idea," he whispered to Lyra. "You'll stay hidden while I lure them away." "No," Lyra cried. "I have to help." "You'll help more by staying safe," Adrian insisted. "Trust me. That's how we save your mom." Infiltration. Under the cover of darkness, Adrian moved toward the trap, using his exosuit's stealth systems to mask his heat signature. The Dominion soldiers had captured Talus inside a translucent containment field that pulsed with energy, preventing escape. He studied the field, noting the pressure sensors around it. One wrong move and it would activate lethal countermeasures. A faint vibration signaled the soldiers approaching. Adrian ducked behind a rock formation, watching their patrol route. He calculated the timing. He activated a small drone and sent it whizzing past the soldiers' line of sight. The machine emitted a loud metallic clang before plunging off the cliff, drawing the soldiers' attention. While they pursued the decoy, Adrian sprinted toward the trap. His hands worked quickly, scanning the control panel. Come on, he muttered, bypassing the security algorithms. A sudden sound made him freeze. One soldier had returned, alerted to something amiss. Adrian's heart pounded. He needed a distraction. Lyra! He whispered into the calm now. Lyra emerged from her hiding place, her small voice projecting a series of sharp cries that mimicked the planet's native predators. The soldier flinched, eyes widening. Adrian seized the opportunity to unlock the containment field. Rescue and revelation. The field dissipated, and Talus fell to the ground. She embraced Lyra, tears streaming down her glowing skin. My baby, you're safe. Adrian stepped forward. You're safe, ma'am. But we need to move quickly. Talus rose and studied Adrian. You risked yourself for us? Adrian shrugged. Someone had to. I couldn't leave a child alone while her mom was in danger. Lyra clutched his hand. You're brave more than anyone I've ever met. Talus looked at Adrian with deep gratitude. Human, your courage is remarkable. Your species may be fragile compared to the Dominion, but the heart, that cannot be measured. Adrian smiled wryly. Guess that's what makes us strong. Chase. Their relief was short-lived. Dominion sensors had detected the tampering and deployed reinforcements. Adrian realized they had less than 10 minutes before an overwhelming force arrived. He grabbed a portable energy shield from his exosuit. Stay close, he instructed. I'll lead the way. Running through the jagged valley, Talus and Lyra followed closely behind. Adrian fired a series of EMP grenades to disable the Dominion drones chasing them, creating openings in their path. Lyra's small hands clutched his leg. Will they catch us? Adrian looked down at her, smiling. Not if we keep moving. Courage and cleverness beat numbers every time. Talus, despite her fear, assisted by directing Lyra and using her knowledge of the terrain to find narrow paths the Dominion couldn't traverse efficiently. At the edge of the valley, Adrian activated his ship's tractor beam to create a vertical lift point. They clambered aboard as Dominion ships fired energy pulses, barely missing the freighter. Hold on! Adrian shouted as he activated the thrusters, sending them rocketing into space. A lesson in courage. Once clear of the planet's orbit, Talus and Lyra looked out at the stars, panting and exhilarated. You risked everything for a child and her mother, Talus said, still catching her breath. Why? Adrian paused. Because someone had to. Courage isn't about thinking you're invincible. It's about standing up when it matters, even if you're afraid. Lyra looked at him with wide, innocent eyes. You're the bravest human I've ever seen. Adrian laughed softly. That's not bravery, sir. And sometimes, caring is stronger than any weapon. Talus nodded slowly. Your species may be fragile, but the heart inside it is formidable. Adrian smiled. Guess that's the human way. Return to safety. Back aboard the freighter, Adrian coordinated with Talus to deliver her research samples safely to a secure Dominion-friendly station. The child, exhausted from the ordeal, curled up in a corner of the cabin, quietly sleeping while Adrian and Talus shared a moment of relief. Will they come after us again? Lyra whispered from her blankets. Adrian shook his head. Not if we stay smart. But even if they do, we'll face it together. Talus placed a hand on his shoulder. Human. You've shown me something vital. Even the smallest individuals can make the biggest difference. You changed the outcome with nothing but your courage and your choice to act. Adrian felt warmth at the words. Humanity was often underestimated by alien civilizations, seen as inefficient, chaotic, and fragile. Yet here, in the heart of danger, one human's courage had been the deciding factor in saving lives and altering the course of events. Lyra stirred and looked up at him. Will you stay with us? Adrian knelt beside her. As long as you need me. The legacy. News of the rescue eventually spread through the Dominion-controlled sectors. Tales of a human who had faced superior forces, saved a child and her mother, and defied the odds became legend. Adrian became an unexpected symbol of human courage, not for his weapons or technology, but for his heart. Talus continued her research, now free to explore without fear. Lyra grew under the guidance of both her mother and the human who had risked everything for her. And in quiet moments aboard the freighter, Adrian would look at the two and remember that courage wasn't about being invincible. It was about the choice to act when others might hesitate, the choice to stand up even against overwhelming odds. For the alien child and her mother, that courage was the difference between life and death. For Adrian, it was a reminder that even humans, often underestimated across the stars, carried a strength no alien technology could ever replicate. Sometimes the smallest choices, the act of standing up when it matters most, were enough to change the course of lives. And even civilizations.